I let go of everything, even the ring, and now I find myself alone, with no one to blame but myself. Before I dive into how everything fell apart, I wonder if you've ever done something reckless, acting on impulse only to regret it later. I'd love to hear your experiences. Feel free to share them below. My name's Mia, I'm 28, and my life once looked like something people might envy. I had a stable job, a cozy apartment that I loved, and a boyfriend who seemed to be everything I could ask for. His name was Chris, and he balanced me out. Where I was chaotic, he was calm. Where I was unpredictable, he was steady. We had been together for 2 years, and during that time, he did everything right. He planned our weekends, sent me sweet messages just because, and showed me devotion that never wavered. I thought I was fully committed, at least I told myself I was. But something shifted over time. It wasn't that I didn't love him, I did. But the life I was building with him started to feel like a cage. Not because of him, but because of the changes within me. I remembered how I used to be, the freedom I once had. Back in my early 20s, my life was full of adventures. I was out every weekend, meeting new people and living for the moment. I didn't have to answer to anyone, and for a while, that was exhilarating. I could be spontaneous, carefree, and focus solely on myself. Yet even then, I knew it couldn't last forever. Chris was meant to be my future, the one I'd grow old with. But over time, that vision of our future began to feel suffocating, like a coat that was too tight, too hard to undo. I still remember the night everything changed. We had just moved in together, something that should have brought excitement, but all I could think about was the life I once had. The nights out, the thrill of new faces, the rush of unpredictability. I craved the freedom to make choices without having to explain myself. I longed for the way things used to be. That evening, Chris had prepared a romantic dinner, and as a surprise, he proposed with a stunning solitaire diamond ring. The one I had always dreamed of. When he knelt in front of me, I froze. This was supposed to be the moment when everything came together. But instead, I felt trapped. The ring in my hand felt like the weight of everything I was running from. In that moment, I couldn't contain the panic that rose within me. I blurted out, "Chris, I miss who I used to be. I miss my carefree days. I don't think I'm ready for this." The moment I spoke those words, I saw his smile vanish. It wasn't just the shock in his face, it was the realization of what I had just said. The truth that I had been avoiding for so long. I wasn't ready for forever, not when I was still trying to find myself. He didn't yell or cry, he just stood up, took the ring from my hand, and placed it on the table. Without another word, he turned and walked away. At first, I thought he just needed time, but it didn't work out that way. It was over. I tried to reach out, calling, texting, pleading for him to listen, but he never responded. Then even his family, who had once treated me like one of their own, started to distance themselves. I had been part of their world for so long, but now, all I felt was silence. There were no calls, no messages, just an emptiness I didn't know how to fill. I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. My focus on regaining my freedom made me blind to the love and support I already had. I thought there was something better out there, but all I found was loneliness. For weeks, I replayed that moment, the ring, the love, and the family I had let slip away. I asked myself if I could ever make it right, but deep down I knew the answer. There was no one to blame but me. I chased a sense of independence, thinking it was what I needed, but I ended up losing the person who had always been there, who made me feel valued and cared for. The silence, the unanswered calls, it all became too loud. I have to live with the consequences. I know I made a mistake, and I feel it every day. Have you ever let something go, thinking you could get it back later? Do you think love is worth giving up for a freedom that might not be as necessary as you thought? I'd love to hear your thoughts below. If I could go back, I wouldn't have let that ring go, or pushed away the person who loved me so completely. Sometimes, you only realize the importance of something when it's too late. And now, all I'm left with is the quiet and the weight of a ring I'll never hold again.